So apparently, the post that I literally just made earlier today, uh, what that post was about is a thing called dram shop laws. They exist in Canada, they exist in the United States. So if anybody sees the post I made earlier today, without even realizing it, that's what I was talking about. Um, I don't usually do part twos, but uh, what I was saying in the earlier post was a coworker arrived to work completely drunk. I kept her in the back room, away from customers, away from anything that could make it so that customers were disturbed by her behavior or anything. The door was closed. She had her phone. I tucked the keys like behind, slightly behind on the side of the till so she didn't see them immediately. She left them on the counter. And I tried to make it so that uh, she didn't go home or leave the place that I was working with her at drunk in her car because she drove to work. I don't know how, but she did. So that's when I was making the post earlier, I didn't even realize I was talking about dram shop laws. And then after I made the post, I I was thinking about it, and I was I was thinking about what it's like for bartenders and people that work serving alcohol and things like that. Um, and I did a little bit of research, and apparently, without even knowing it, all of this time, I actually swerved a trumped up dram shop law charge. That's literally what my previous post today was about. And making the post, I didn't even know the term dram shop law. Um, but yeah, it's an actual term. It comes from the old days. It's it. I've never heard of it before. I when I was making the post earlier, in all these years, because this was years ago that I worked at this particular job where this happened. I had never heard of that term for all these years, and I didn't even know the law that I was talking about, but this would have been what that was. I literally. I avoided a trumped up dram shop law charge, and uh, yeah, uh, but um, you know, so that's just those are things that have happened to me my whole life. I've had to sort of I would be put in a bad situation or a weird situation, or ridiculous things were happening, and I had to keep on recognizing and avoiding trouble and problems, and I'd have to think pretty quick and act really quickly and do as best I could in each situation. Each situation was uh, they always felt very manufactured, um, and like I definitely would get a sense of each situation not being entirely what it was being presented to me as. But I didn't even know years ago, especially in my youth, that I had relatives that were actively trying to get me into trouble with the law, and sort of make it so that the law would do what they wanted to have done to me without getting into trouble. But I think maybe the plan went a little bit awry, uh, because two people from management came in to speak with this coworker at length, and they talked to her, and they had to have seen that she was intoxicated. So I think that by the time she left the place that we were working in, I think she would have contacted whoever was involved in this sort of endeavor with her, and she would have said, "Well, we probably can't do this the way we wanted to now because two people from management saw me, not just her. So, there's a chance that they could be held liable as well as her. So maybe we shouldn't go through with whatever it was they were thinking of going through with." I don't know. I don't know. That's all just speculation, complete speculation. I have no idea. But that's just what happened. But yeah, so I did a little bit of research on this because, like I said, I was curious about how people that serve liquor handle these kinds of situations. And um, uh, I'm sort of sitting here really, really relieved that I swerved a trumped up dram shop law charge, and before that I managed to not run a homeless man over with my car, and I made a post about that, and then there is a couple of other things that I'll make posts about in the future. So that if anybody else is experiencing this type of abuse of power, and they've got they're in a situation where they're being abused and the abusers are attempting to control them to the degree and extent that mine have certainly tried to control me. Maybe if they see my posts, because I'm learning a lot. I'm certainly learning a lot. I just made a whole post and didn't even know what law I had just abided by that kept me in the free and clear of getting into serious legal trouble. So, but it was always like, it was usually something to do with motor vehicles. It was always some motor vehicular problem or accident or would-be accident or something like that. That was always sort of employed on me. I noticed a lot of it had to do, it was like, because I had gotten away from the actual man that was abusing me. It's like I had been in the free and clear, and so I started driving, so they really used my vehicle to do some sort of playbook of motor vehicular tragedies that were gonna play out for me, but they didn't, because actually I'm a fighter and a ninja and smart.